So that was our fun. We did. So with that being said, I used to go see Kool at Harlem where I never knew who he was. I just knew when he was with Treacherous 3 too. I just knew he was just dope. He was like one of the best rappers of Harlem. And we lived on the same block, but he lived 2 blocks on that, like Convent.
Right.
And I'm on St. Nick, between 7th and 8th. I'm in St. Nick, and he lives in the it's like a brownstone. So he was a little better off than us. We was in the projects, he was in the condos. So I could never go up to meet him because, he was a star. Like back then, he was just like Treacherous 3. So I was friends with, what's the Puerto Rican one? Puerto Rican, he was in the other group.
You about the DJ?
Huh?
You talking about the...
No.
Charlie Chase?
No, not Charlie Chase. He was the Flyers too. He had the real S-curls. We had the shit. He had the processed shit. He had the natural shit because he was Spanish. He was Latino. And he was always looking out for me. I forgot his name. I feel so bad. But he used to always look out for me, and he was a part of the other group, but they were related to Treacherous 3. So that's how I got to meet Mo D. And then it was like a brief, like a fan meet. It was like, I was a hustler. He was Kool Mo D. What's up, man? Pleasure to meet you. And then, long and behold, about a year later or a couple of years later, LaVeba was like, yo, you need to meet Mo. So he brought Mo up to the Rooftop. I met Mo D. I was like, oh, sweat, I'm meeting him in person. So then I started meeting all the rappers because they like, yo, this little kid, that be in the Rooftop making beats, and he makes it at his house too. So I had to set up at the house. I had to set up at Rooftop. And I remember B-Fats coming to me. And he said, I got this idea of doing this record. It's like a dance, When can I come to your house? I was like, I don't know him. But he's B-Fats. So I'm gonna work with him. So he came to my project, and he was like, so, I have this thing, people are going around, they doing the WAP. So I want to make the record the WAP. It's called the WAP. So I said, okay, let me work on the beat. And I worked on the beat. And I was like, dang, I gotta borrow somebody's drum machine. So I borrowed my friend's drum machine. It was the DMX Oberheim. And I was just a destructive kid. I would open up shit to see how it works. So that's how I got the famous shaker on the show. Was from the DMX, the Oberheim. So I made Dance Girl Bam. I did Beethoven. We didn't have samplers.
Yeah.
So I'm like, dance girl. So I was the talk of the town. I was working with everybody and their mothers. So, this kid did my beat. You need to go see him. So classical too. Get on up. We had no samplers, so that's my voice.
Oh, that's you.
Yeah.
Dang.
We had no sampler. So I'm like, I'm doing my own samples. I want to sound like James Brown. So I did the get on up. And that became the sample. If you listen to it, you'll hear the texture of my voice. So when I started doing that, I started making my own samples, putting it in. I got my first drum machine. Uncle Willie bought it for me. And it was the Korg DDD-1. I did the Key Sweat song with it. I did the WAP. I did everything with this because it was the only one that had hits. MPC didn't have hits because you had to make them. It was a sampler. Mine was a sampler, but it already came with the I Wanna hits. Bam, 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 bam. So I took it, sampled the hit into the S30, rolling. I got my S30, Lil Willie bought it, and it was the first sampler that give you no more than a second. It's like maybe a millisecond. So all I had was bam, get on up, and that generation. It's me on a T-Act, doubling my voice, tripling, quadrupling to a 2-track. So
How long did it take you
to one, record to the other side because you can separate the recordings on a T-Act. So I'm recording on one, overdub on this one, overdub back on this one, and that's how I got all, I did all the backgrounds.
But nobody's teaching you this stuff. You're just...
how are you learning all these keyboards?
I was in my projects. I was a destructive kid. Like, I made everything out of an instrument. I made the toilet tissue out of the bass drum. I didn't have a drum machine. So I was like, how the hell am I going to make a beat? So I said, okay. I took the microphone. My father bought a Shure. I put that Shure in that doggone hole of the toilet tissue. I was like... And that was my beat. And I had no drummer, so I was using that as my drum machine. And that's how I came up with just little songs like, and I used some of those beatbox parts. Like, you hear like what I'm doing, She Drives Me Wild.
Right.
I did that with the toilet tissue. So, until I got instruments, I was so creative, and my actual engineer with the band down in the basement would let me hold his T-Act, and I would bring the T-Act to the house. He says, as long as you don't break it, you break it, you got to pay for it. So I was scared of these dudes. They was martial artists and shit. I learned karate and everything through them. So I said, I don't never want to get beat up by these guys, so I'm going to take care of this damn T-Act until I make some money. And then my Uncle Willie bought me a 12-track Akai.
Oh, yeah.
And when he bought the 12-track Akai, him and Gusto, Gusto from Rooftop, my big brother. So we became partners, and we bought the 12-track, and I did all of the Guy records, I Wanna, all of those records on the 12-track. Now, how did I get that 12-track from the Rooftop to my house? Because I was always working at the Rooftop. Well, this is the time I seen my life before me, because we used to work in the Rooftop every day, and people knew our moves. So some extorters who was going after Gusto stuck Gusto and them up at the Rooftop part, the roller skating ring part. Caught them in there, tied up like some of the workers, took Gusto, brought him upstairs. We just finished working with Kool D. Kool D goes home, and I'm like still making the beat to mix it. Next thing you know, these guys with AKs and 50 calibers and everything had us on the ground. Me, Timmy Gatlin, and he's going to talk about it too. Me, Timmy Gatlin, Greg G, remember Greg G, Greg Marius.
Greg, oh, yeah.
Yeah, who passed away.
We went to college together.
Huh?
We went to college together.
Y'all did?
St. John's.
Wow.
Yeah.
So it's Greg G, and then G Money, and one more person. We all had to get on the ground, and as soon as I seen him, I seen a gun, pointed at me, and I got on the ground, and then Timmy comes out. And Timmy's like, Timmy is very outspoken. So he's like, "The fuck going on in here?" Dude took the 50 caliber and hit Timmy in the head with it. He said, "Shut the fuck up and get on the ground." Knocked him in the head, and his ear was bleeding. And I'm looking at him, we looking at each other with tears. We gonna die. And we looking at each other, and I'm looking at Greg and the Vapor. We all on the ground, seeing our lives before us. And the guys was like, if this motherfucker over here don't give us the money, we want the safe. Who know where the safe is? Anyone of y'all niggas know where the safe is? It's like, no, we don't know where the safe is at.
I'm sorry.
Huh? What's up?
Charges.
Huh?
Charge.
What charge?
I needed a charger for the iPhone so this can
Oh no,
continue
just
to
take
record.
the one out of my room. Take one of the what's the name? Just take the one in the studio.
Okay.
It's hooked up to the
Okay.
thing and you'll see it. You know what's that, sure. So we on the ground and Timmy's bleeding. It really just made us like really pray like we never prayed before in our lives. And this is a time that all of us could say, yo, you remember that time.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I call my book Remember the Time and my film Remember the Time. Because these are all memories that were vivid. Like it's like you like
Wait a minute. You stopped the story. So what
No,
happened
no,
next?
right,
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
You gotta keep
now
going.
we going.
The
Okay,
safe,
okay,
the
yeah.
So
safe.
these are memories that's so vivid. Like that story, they were after Gusto because Gusto used to be a drug dealer, but he left the business just like me, and we made our money clean. So he was always great for that, you know. He was very, very smart. He showed me the business, of, you know, how to make money. But when I left him, I was lost. Greg Marius and Gusto were like my managers. Like I wasn't really a partner, but they made me a partner because I was doing all the music. And this is how Uptown.
Well, wait, what happened with the safe
I'm
though?
ready to go
Okay,
there.
sorry.
So this is how Uptown, all of that came about. So I'm gonna go back. So after we were on the floor, Gusto was like, nah, man, leave them alone. Y'all want me. So if y'all want me and y'all want the safe, take me to my house. I'll give y'all the safe, give y'all whatever y'all need. And you know, I just leave my guys alone. So they took him to his house. His mother and his wife was there. They were getting ready to kill them. It's like, all right, we're gonna tie them up, because if you don't give us the safe, then we're just gonna kill them. So going back in that room, one of the guys knew who I was because he knew I perform at the Rooftop. I do everything at the Rooftop. I'm Willie's nephew. Like, you know, I'm the nephew. So those guys were like, yo, don't fuck with Shorty. Shorty right there, that's the music motherfucker, the little music kid. And that's where he knew me from. They all had on masks. So we didn't know who anybody was until Gusto got them to the house. And one of the guys took off the mask. Gusto knew who every other guy was. After he seen the one guy with the mask, because he knew where they were from. He knew who all the affiliates were. And Gusto, we were stuck in the bathroom. They put us in the bathroom. It's me, Greg G, Weber, Tim, and Tim's still bleeding, so we got him the tissue. He had the tissue over his head. We in the bathroom. And they was like, anybody coming out of the bathroom, we're killing y'all.
Wow.
So we thought that they left one of the goons, you know, in the actual office area in the studio. Let alone the guy was gone. And they all went with Gusto because it was like, we gonna get our money. You know, they leave, you know, like they left and he got the money. None of them would have been, you know, because they were just shiesty guys. So they all left. But we were still in the bathroom thinking they were still in there. Like,
Right. We'll be here till tomorrow.
He's like, so who's going to get? And then we had our janitor. The janitor is Mike. No, Greg. No, was it G? We had a bunch of G's. So the janitor came up. He unlocked. He's the only one with the keys to the whole building. So they locked us in the gate. So he opened up the gate. And he didn't think nobody was in there.
Sure.
And we're like, who that? If we heard somebody go, shut the fuck up, we know that's the goons.
The bad people.
That's the bad people. It's like, yo, who that? Baby was like, yo, who that? We all, yo, it's me. It's the janitor. He was like, oh God. God just came out rescue. So we got out of that bathroom. We walked out because we know, yo. He's like, anybody out there with you?
Right.
He's like, no, it's just me. That's when we came out the bathroom. And we was like, yo, they got Gusto. He's like, where they got Gusto at? So we didn't know that Gusto had a safe in the office with
Right.
a bunch of guns and money.
Right.
And the janitor was the only one who knew the combination. So he went and got the guns. And we were like, we'll get a gun too. Next thing you know, Gusto calls back. And he said, I'm all right. I jumped out the window
The window of.
of his apartment. I'm going to tell you about that. Because you got, I think
It's
you
a
should help
movie.
with
Yep.
we got the
This
rooftop
is a
story.
movie.
This is a
We got
series
the
right
rooftop
now.
No, this is a
stories separate.
series.
Yeah.
So, so he called the janitor and told him, tell the guys everything is good. I'll be back. I'll be there in a few minutes. I got away. They got the money. Don't worry about that. But he jumped out of the second floor. He jumped out of the window and got away. And I don't know if they were shooting at him or whatever, but he got away. And when he got away, he came back to the rooftop. He was like, yo, I need y'all. That's how I got the 12 track to my house. Because he was like, I need y'all to lay low. I got work to do. Teddy, you take all the instruments. Take the stuff to the house and work with everybody at the house. And I'll let y'all know when y'all, come back. So I took the 12 track to the house and I worked on all the records. I worked on Guy. That's when Key Sweat came. It's around the same time. Key Sweat came to the projects.
You had
Shooting
everything you
dice
needed.
And
What was your address?
225 West 129th Street.
Wow.
Apartment?
Apartment 1F. Yeah. And
And you still a teenager at this time.
Mhm.
Wow.
You're like
was very
14, 15, 13.
but from there, I and I can remember Gusto introduced me to my daughter, my adopted daughter's mother, Nia's mother.
Mhm.
And that was the end of Rooftop for me because I never really went back.
Yeah,
I went ahead
yeah.
to Brooklyn.
Uptown?
And that's when Dre used to come to Rooftop.
Right.
So Dre only been to the Rooftop 4 times. The 4th time was me telling Dre I can come to Chungking.
Mm-hmm.
And Dre was like, bet.
And Hev
Tell
is
me
in
what
the
you
picture.
need. You need something? Keyboards? What you need? I said, well, just let them know if they can have my S30, Korg DDD1. If they don't have it, I'll bring mine. And they found every instrument, rented it from SIR.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm sorry, Rocket. Remember Rocket?
Don't know Rocket.
Rocket was before SIR.
Okay.
On 30th Street,
30th Street, okay.
right by Madison Square Garden. And we used to rehearse at Rocket. So he said, I took all the stuff to the house, and then Dre was like, yo, I want to send Heavy to your house.
Mm-hmm.
I said, you gonna send Heavy D to my house? Like, I live in the projects. He live in a house. So he's like, yeah, he's gonna be all right. Don't worry about it. Heavy D he's gonna vibe with you.
Mr. Big
don't
Stuff
worry
is
about it.
out
That's
at this
Mr.
point.
That's the overweight lover, baby. I was like, okay. So Heavy came to my projects. Met my mom for the first time.
So he's
Heavy-
coming into your apartment in the project. Okay.
We all recorded there
Oh, wait,
first.
Everybody. I'll tell you the Bobby Brown story when he came to
Yeah,
my projects.
we all recorded there.
So Heavy came to my projects and then he's like, all of this, we could do down at Chungking, but before Chungking, we're gonna vibe right
Pre-production.
now, and we just started vibing. First he came to the Rooftop, and he came to the Rooftop my first time meeting him, and when he came to the Rooftop, they played his records, and I said to Dre, "What you want me to do with this?" He's like, "I just want you to put your touch, like you." Just come down, put your touch, hang out with us at the studio, and I'm gonna put you on everything. That's what Dre said to me. I'm gonna put you on everything. You and them damn drops. Yo, the drops. I can't wait. You're gonna love Chungking. So I started doing everything at the house. This was the Guy time, and this was Key Sweat. I did I Wanna. I did Just Got Paid. I did all of those records. I did I Go to Work. I did all of those records in the projects, and kids at my window. Like, yo, that's just
That's
everybody
dope.
outside of the window like, yo, and dancing in the dirt.
Right.
Because, you know, we had the grass, and then that's outside of my window,
That's
we
the
played
part.
stickball.
Right.
Remember stickball?
Oh, yeah,
And you
yeah.
draw the box.
Oh yeah.
That's your strike. We used to play stickball until I broke my window. Because I'm on the first floor.
Yeah.
I